Good afternoon and welcome. My name is Sussex Sandra and welcome to my channel. And I would like to wish all of you a happy 2019. I hope it's going to be a year full of joy and laughter and love for everybody. So shall we continue? So this afternoon I thought I would just go through my favourite products, my favourite makeup products that I've been using in 2018. So, you know, I've got a vast array of products now because obviously I shop and I receive products as well in the beauty boxes, and I really just wanted to show you the products that I reach for the most. So, you know, the ones I go for without thinking, because that's the product I know that I want to use. And that to me usually shows me that those are the products that are my favourites. So shall we start off with primers? Now, everybody knows, if you watch my channel regularly, you'll know that I have got very, very, very oily skin. So I tend to double prime. So I tend to use a primer, an all over face primer, which will be either a moisturising, a normal primer, or a mattifying primer. And then I use my favourite, what do you call it, ride or die primer, which is my Becca Ever Matte. So the primer that I've been reaching for most as my all over face primer is a surprising one actually, but it's the Fenty Beauty, I think they call it Pro Instant. Yeah, it's the Fenty Beauty Pro Filt'r Instant Primer. This I've been using almost like a moisturiser, but also as a primer, and I put this all over my face. So let's do that first, shall we? So one pump normally is enough. And I think as a primer, this is actually really good. If you've got sort of dry, normal skin, you'll find this primer perfect. If you've got a combination skin, you'll like this primer as well. But for me, as an oily skin person, it's not quite enough to hold back my oil. So I use it as my all over face primer. And then obviously my favourite primer, my Becca Ever Matte Poreless primer, this is the one. Of all the primers I have, it's the one I reach for the most, because it's the most effective, and I know that it does the job. When I haven't used it, I really notice the difference. So I literally just pat it into the areas that I really need the attention, and that'll be my nose and my upper cheeks and just along my temples as well. And there you go. This primer, it does leave a slightly white cast on your face, but it's not something to really worry about because you are going to be putting the foundation on afterwards. Okay, so that's the primer. So before I go on to put my foundation on, I do like to set my primer first. Then again, this is like an oily skin hack. The product I've been using to set my primer is this one from Innisfree, and it's a no sebum mineral powder. It's not an expensive product. It cost about £4 or £5. I bought 3 of these earlier this year. This is the second one I'm using now, and I tend to just dab that all over my face just to set my primer. So I will use either a damp beauty sponge, or I'll just use the puff that it comes with. Okay, so don't need a lot, just need a little bit, and I'll just dab this all over the key areas again. Right, so onto the foundations now. I realised, because yesterday I was just going through all the foundations that I reviewed this year. I reviewed something like 30 foundations this year. That's not bad, is it? So 30 foundations I have purchased this year. I don't know what that says about me, but yes, I purchased 30 foundations this year. That's a lot. And the foundations that I have reached for the most, I'll show you them now. So the things I look for in foundations is one that gives me a minimum amount of transfer, will hold back my oil as much as possible and for as long as possible, will last on my face during a long work day without splitting or fading or melting. It applies easily, so it will blend out easily on my face, and the price isn't too extortionate. So I have got a mixture of sort of high-end and low-end foundations here. So there are 4 which I really could not decide between the 4 which ones were my favourites. So the first one is the Cover FX Play foundation, and I got this in shade N100. Love this foundation, wore it a lot during the summer, and it's a foundation that you can wear in the winter as well, so it's a good all season, all year round foundation. So that's the first one. the second one, which I tried out, I think it was in the spring I tried this one out, if I can get it out of the box, is this one from Dior. So Dior is like really a high-end brand, but this foundation they came out with is fantastic. It's called the Face and Body Backstage Foundation. Was it Backstage Face and Body Foundation? It wasn't too expensive. It was, it's still in the high-end brand. It was £29, but again, this foundation I absolutely loved, and I got this one in the shade 6.5N, so neutral, and great foundation, one that I've reached for all the time as well. Next to was this one, Bobbi Brown. Now this one came out at the beginning of the year, so it was in January this came out, January, February this came out, and it's the Bobbi Brown Weightless Skin Longwear Foundations. It's Skin Finish Longwear Foundation. Now the first shade I purchased this in was, I think it was 7.25. That wasn't quite my right shade, so I did go and get a replacement, and it was 7.5, and I love this foundation. Again, great foundation to wear in the summer because it's light and it is weightless and it controls my oils. Natural finish, because that's the finish I'm liking these days. I like a medium to full foundation, a good solid medium to full foundation coverage. So this is giving me a really nice coverage. Really enjoyed wearing this one, and again, this is something I will pick up again. I'll just basically, I have these 4 foundations on my dressing table, and they're the ones I just pick up one. Doesn't matter which one, I'll just pick up one. So this is another one which I've really enjoyed wearing. And the final foundation, which is actually a drugstore one and I need to get a replacement for, is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte Poreless Foundation. Now when they extended because I think they only had a few shades in a deep skin range available in the UK, but they extended the shade range in the UK, and I got this shade 362. This is a perfect shade match for me. So that's the foundation I am going to put on today. Okay, so that's my foundation put on. So the foundation will dry down to a nice natural matte finish. Now the concealers, I used to use a Tarte Shape Tape concealer. That was my favourite concealer, but I've kind of just stopped using Tarte now. It's another brand I'm just kind of ignoring for the time being, and I'm not going to go out of my way to buy Tarte products at the moment. So I did look around for another range of concealers that I could use, and a few came out this year. So we had some that came out from Makeup Revolution, and we had some that came out from Colourpop, and I did buy some from both. So the 2 concealers I tend to use now are from Colourpop and the Makeup Revolution concealers. Both very affordable. The only problem is that in the UK the Colourpop concealer is not easily available. So I purchased mine. I did a bulk Colourpop haul from the States and got it shipped over. So it's not something that is easily available for us over here in the UK, but we can get the Makeup Revolution very easily over here. So these are the 2 concealers I use. In the Makeup Revolution one, under my eyes I use C12. And in the Colourpop one I use, I can't remember, I think it's number 46. So today I'm just going to be using the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define one in C12 under my eyes. For under eye, what I like to set my under eye, just for a little bit of baking. I don't do much of the whole baking thing, but the products I've gone for the most this year is my Sacha Buttercup powder. I've had this one for a good couple of years now. It looks like it might last another couple of years. Right, so whilst all those areas are baking, I'll do my contour. Now, the contour products that I've been using all year has been this one. I actually got this as a gift from a Canadian and she received she got a PR set from Pure, and the products that she couldn't use was this. She couldn't use this Cameo stick because it was in deep. I think she was sort of Asian, so she said, okay, I'll send these to you, and I was like, yeah, great, brilliant. So I sent her some money via PayPal, and she sent these over to me. I mean, she didn't actually want any money. She didn't want me to give her any money at all, but I just thought, you know what, come on, this stuff is not cheap. I can't remember how much it costs, but it ain't cheap, and she's sending it over. So I just sent her some money for postage and packaging, and so what I liked about this is that it's double-ended. So you've got the bit at the end here, which is for the contour, and then you've got the bit at the end here for you can use for your under eye concealer. I literally just use the contour end, and it's actually nearly finished. I mean, there's literally just a little bit left. There's that much left, so I'm going to have to find another product to use. Yeah, that's all what's left, and I've been using this all year. So, and it has been my go-to contour stick. So let's put that on now. I think I've literally just used the last of it. I don't use this bit at the end, don't use it at all, so I might just end up throwing this away now. So it's a shame, but I've really enjoyed using this year, so that has been my go-to. Right, so let's do contour with a bronzer. And the two bronzers I have gone to the most frequently this year is again something I bought from Amazon, and it's a CoverGirl Queen Ebony, I think it's called, I can't remember because it's all faded now, CoverGirl Queen Ebony Bronze Q120. This is like, this is almost like the black girl friendly, this is like the black girl bronzer of all time. It really is. So it looks like that. You can see mine is heavily used. It's even sort of caked up on there. So that's one bronzer I use, and the other one I use is from Bobbi Brown, and it's the bronzing powder in Deep 4, and it looks like, let me open it for you so you can see. It looks like that. Oh, this is a new one. I've got one which I'm in use at the moment, but it doesn't really matter. So that's what that one looks like. So I'm going to just use my CoverGirl because that's the one I use most often. So let's put that on. My contour, I'm just now going to brush off all the baking products. Brow products. Now, I'm really boring when it comes to brow products. I've used the same two products. Once I discovered them, what, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I haven't stopped using them. So they're both from Benefit. So it's the Benefit Goof Proof Brow Pencil, which has got a spoolie on one end and the brow product on this end. And I have them in the shade number 5, which is deep. And then the Gimme Brow, I use this, it's like a brow gel product, and I use that on top of the Goof Proof, and again I have that in shade 5, so I'm going to put those on now. Eyebrows are done. So the eyeshadow palette, which I've got quite a few eyeshadow palettes, and I do like to mix and match my eyeshadows. I've got various that I have used during the year. So my Jocelyn Hill Morphe palette, I've got the Tammy one from Makeup Revolution, I've got a couple of Urban Decay ones, so the Naked Heat and the, I think it was called the Back Door or something. I've got the Born to Run and the Back Door one, so I've got those as well, which are really popular. They're the ones I tend to go for. I've been using at other times, but the palette I go for automatically if I don't want to think about what I'm wearing today and I just want an automatic look is this one from Colourpop again, and it's a Colourpop collaboration with Makeup Shayla. Again, I'm not sure if it's available in the UK as yet. This is part of my US haul from Colourpop, and I got this one as well. So let's put some of that on now. Right, when it comes to eyeliners, I have no particular favourite at all. I like to use liquid eyeliners as well as pencil eyeliners. So I'm just literally just going to go with what I have at the moment. All the eyeliners I've received them in beauty boxes, so I have a good supply of both of them. Right, mascaras. Now, the outstanding mascara for me this year, it's an easy one. It's the Benefit Bad Gal Bang Mascara. So it's this one here. It launched with the greatest pizzazz and kawow and kabam. They made a big show of launching this mascara. Last year, if you was asking me what my favourite mascaras were last year, I would have said the Tarte Camera Lash Action Mascara, and I would have said the Benefit Roller Lash. But this year, this Bad Gal Bang has given me everything that I want in a mascara, because I have no eyelashes, as you can see, but this, yeah. So, and again, it's more of a reason for me not to wear fake eyelashes. You see, I just love this mascara. Can you see the difference it makes? So it's just this eye that's been done, and the difference it just makes, it just gives my eyes a little bit more pizzazz, widens, lengthens, and it's just, I love it. Absolutely love this mascara. Right, blush. I've had a couple of blushes this year which I've just really enjoyed using, and one I literally cannot find at the moment. I don't know what I've done with it. I've had a bit of a declutter recently, and I'm just hoping that I haven't thrown it away. It's one we got in a Birch box, and it was from MASCARA, and it was a product of the month where we had a choice of 2 shades. The one I chose was Paradise, and again, it's a blush that again, I'll just put on without thinking. I wish I could find it right now to put it on, because it would actually go quite nicely with this look. It's one of those blushes that has a nice little shimmer and a bit of a highlight to it as well, but it's nicely pigmented as well, in more of an orangey shade, which kind of goes very well with deep skin shades. But the other blush that I like is something that I purchased last year when I did when I say last year, I mean 2017. I did a little haul from Marene Beaute, which is a Swedish or Swiss makeup company. It's owned by a black woman in I'm sure it's Switzerland, and I didn't get along too well with the foundation. It was a compact foundation which looked fantastic when you put it on, but on my oily skin it just didn't last very well, which is a shame because it looked really flawless on. But the blushes I've absolutely loved, and the shade that I've really liked wearing this year and I've gone for over and over and over again is this one. So here we go. This is the Marene Beaute. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. It's M-A-R-E-N-E with a little thing on top, little accent on top of the E. And the shade is Terra Rouge, and it's just lovely. Look at that. It's just a really nice shade. So that's the shade this is one I reach for a lot. So let's put some of that on now. There we go, all good. Now, highlighters. Again, 2 highlighters that I've gone for a lot this year, and you can see I've used both of them to death. Another one we got in a beauty box, and I think it might have been either in a Look Incredible beauty box, or it could have been in a Birch box, and I think it was a choice item again. This is from Douce again. So Douce is a brand I've never heard of at all until the beauty boxes, and it does pop up a lot. You can see I've used this a lot. So this was a highlighter we got in one of the beauty boxes. Really, really like it. I don't even know what the shade is or anything, because I've lost the cover and everything to it. So that's that one. And the other one I use a lot is my Laura Geller Gilded Honey, and again you can see I've used this one to death as well. So we've got these 2, and these are the 2 I kind of reach for the most. Another one which I go to occasionally, but not as much as those 2, is from Illamasqua. I've got quite a few Illamasqua highlighters. I've got 3, because I've got one in my advent calendar. Look, fantastic advent calendar. But this one again, I like this one. It's like a rose gold, and it's shade Epic. So it's really, really nice. So this is the one I'm going to put on today. Okay, right, highlighter on, we're getting there. So we're on to the lips now. Now, lip liners, again, I am very boring. I love the classic MAC lip liner in chestnut, but I also discovered a new one probably in the last half of 2018, and it's from Makeup Revolution, and it's a very cheap alternative. I can't remember how much the MAC one costs. It's about what, £18 I think. I'll put the correct price up above, but the Makeup Revolution one, I bought two. I bought one in the shade Glory and one in the shade Exempt. The one that's closest to the chestnut is the Glory. It looks like this, and I think it costs about £2.50. Again, I'll put the correct price up above, and it's this one. Okay, and then finally, when it comes to lipsticks, I use so many. I can't say I have a favourite at all. It's just impossible to say. So I've liked the NARS Power Matte lipsticks. Again, liquid lips. I think the only thing I could say which is a favourite for me is that I prefer liquid lips to normal lipsticks in a tube, you know, the solid ones. So I've used NARS Power Mattes this year. I've used various Colourpop ones. The ones I've been wearing most frequently in the last couple of months have been from a brand called Makeup for Melanin Girls. It's available online. It's a brand that I found out through Instagram. And the shade I've been wearing a lot, not quite sure if it's going to go with my look today, but I'm going to put it on anyway, is this one. And it's called Brown Sugar. So I'm going to be putting that on now. And there we go. And to finish it all off, I would normally put a setting powder on, but I've forgotten to do that. So the setting powders I've been using this year, I forgot to put a setting powder on, but it doesn't really matter because I'm not going anywhere today. But the setting powders I normally would put on is this one, which we got in a beauty box this year. I can't remember which beauty box we got it in, but it was called, what was it called? It was called by Effect, and it's translucent loose rice powder with matte effect. Really liked wearing this one, very finely milled, and it absorbed my oils, and it was very long lasting. It was actually a really good translucent face powder, and I finished it. So this is actually my empties now, so it's that one. And the other one, there's two more which I've used. This one from Cover Effects as well, so translucent powder, and in the shade Deep, I think it's called. Yeah, it's just in the shade Deep. And this one, which is from Maybelline again. Maybelline Fit Me. You can see I've practically finished this one. And this is, it's matte poreless, and it was in the shade 360. So those have been the three powders I have gone for this year. So that one, Cover Effects, this one we got in a beauty box, and the Matte Fit Me. This one you can get very cheaply in Superdrug, Boots, all those places, and you can get it online. This one I got from Space NK, and this one, as I said, we got in a beauty box. And finally, when it comes to setting sprays, there's only one. I've tried various this year, but there's only one that I keep going back to, and it's the Urban Decay All Night Setting Spray. It's the one true love. For me, it's the only setting spray worth talking about, and I have a few of these as backup. Every time there's a sale on, like I bought one just again recently I think I bought it from Look Fantastic because they had it on discount in a sale, but I buy plenty of these and make sure I'm keeping well stocked up with it. And this is it. These were my favourite products that I have used in 2018. So tell me what you think. What were your favourite makeup products for 2018? Okay, there you go. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to give me a like, thumbs up down below. And if you haven't done so already, what are you waiting for? Come on now, you know what you need to do. All you got to do is press that red subscribe, and whilst you're at it, you might as well just press that little bell down below, and that will notify you when I do my next upload. Thank you ever so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I absolutely love it when you all put down your comments down below and you engage with me as well. Really enjoy that, so please go ahead, and I'm just going to wish you all once again a wonderful 2019. Let me Just have a wonderful, positive 2019. I'm sure we will. I believe in speaking into the air what we want. Okay, take care. Thanks for watching. Bye.